What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Hanging with Old Lou, the podcast your mama loves. Trying to find where I am in the camera right now. So if you don't know, we put the podcast up on YouTube. Go there, please subscribe. We need 1,000
Please,
followers. We need
please, yeah,
1,000
we got to get
followers.
1,000 motherfuckers to follow us. So, hey, like we always tell everybody, tell your mama, tell your enemies, anybody, everybody, go to our YouTube fucking channel and subscribe to us. 1,000, just 1,000. That's it. That's all we need. We're not asking for money yet.
No,
Just asking for 1,000 people. That's all you got to do is
that's all we need.
just click.
This is episode 104 of Hanging with Old Lou. As always, Joshua Citrak. Next to me, to my left, my homeboy, Old Lou, my brother. Old Lou, her name was McGill, and she called herself Lil, but everyone knew her as Nancy, getting her fucking hair done. What's up? What's going on?
That was nice right there, my brother. That was nice. Was that off the dome, or did you write that down?
I had the lyrics pulled up. It was something I knew I was going to say, so I was like...
Next time, off the dome next time.
Oh, man, I'm operating at like 65% capacity today because I got a puppy and the dog gets up in the middle of the night, and then my dumbass, so I'm sitting there, she won't go to sleep, and so then I'm like, well, I might as well pour myself a drink at 1:30 at night, and so then I'm up for like another hour, finish the drink and go to sleep, and I wake up at like 9 this morning, and I was just like crushed because I woke up the previous day. It was dark out. It was like 5:30. Never went back to bed, and I'm operating at 65%. You've got to carry the mail for us today, Olu.
oh shit! Hey, thank God it's the summertime and not wind, sleet, or snow. Goddamn it! Hey, I'm right there with you. So you say you got a pup?
Yeah,
but
we got.
Can the pup be seen? This will be for our guests.
Yeah,
when
don't wake her up. I'll pick her up. But
okay.
So then we got two problems. Then she's gonna have to go outside, and who knows, So let's not do that. I took her out right before the show, threw the ball around the yard, and I knew that she'd fall asleep at my feet like she always does because she's actually never been without me in the entire time that she's lived with us. So she's. But
you are literally dead.
I had a Cesar Milan moment though yesterday. So I was in this store. It's kind of like a Lowe's kind of Home Depot store.
Gotcha.
It's got fucking everything, kind of like and a Walmart combined, kind of.
Oh shit!
It's a regional store, and I was just walking by the pet aisle, and I need to get some bird food for my bird feeders because I got fucking squirrels eating them. I hit a squirrel with a tennis ball yesterday. I just fucking plugged him, and he just turned and looked at me, and then he just scurried up the tree.
You hit him with the ball. He's like, somebody hit me with a piece of paper? The fuck wrong with you, motherfucker? What, he go up the tree to go get his fucking AR-15 for you ass?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I did not kill the squirrel. I'm not baiting squirrels to shoot them so I can eat them. There's my tree, my old oak tree is a squirrel tree, man. There's got to be 3 or 4 squirrels living in that tree. And then in my elm tree, probably another 3 or 4. And it's just squirrels everywhere. And stupid me, I didn't get the squirrel protectors to put over the damn things because the bird houses are so cute. Or the feeders, they're like little cottages. They're super cool, but oh well. I figure, fuck it. I guess I'm feeding squirrels too.
Shit, you're gonna have to lock it down. Yeah, you feeding squirrels. That's gonna be a lot of money. Them squirrels are gonna keep fucking coming back and eating. And as many balls you're gonna throw at them, they're just gonna flip you off and keep eating some more.
Yeah, well, I hope my dog starts to. My dog's so stupid. A rabbit ran in front of her, and she was just like, "What? Huh?"
Like, get him. Wait, what's the dog's name again?
Peach. Peach.
Right.
Peachy Peach.
I like that.
So that's why I'm operating at 65% capacity. It's like having a there. You know, people who say, Lou, like, oh well, I have a dog, so I totally know what it's like to have a kid, and you're like, no.
No, no, no.
I will give it up to those people. I'll give them one little olive branch, and that's that. Uh, it's like having a baby for like 30 minutes a day, and then you give it back. Because
Yeah,
besides having to get up with her, take her outside in the middle of the night, and then, sometimes you got to clean up little messes,
it's gonna happen.
not let her chew on shit. But besides that, it's not like having a kid at all. Um,
No.
But I
Mm-mm.
had a Cesar Milan moment. See, you've already shown that I'm operating on 65%. I'm losing. I'm like old Lou here, like head injury central. I I had a Cesar Milan moment. So I'm in the store and to get bird seed, and down the pet aisle, and I see these packs. You probably have seen these because you got dogs. Is they're buffalo ribs? So like saw buffalo ribs into like chunks. They're probably like
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
6 or
Yeah.
7
Like
inches.
raw, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a dried bone with a little tiny bit
Oh.
of like sinew on it and stuff. So got it
Mhm.
home. I'm like, she's gonna love this, right? Because she's a pup. She's chewing on everything. So I give it to her, and then she runs off with it. She's eating it on the landing and the stairs, and then my oldest goes over and I don't know if he went to grab the bone or if he just walked by her, but she bit him. She nipped him
Oh.
and growled, and I was like, "Oh no! I've
Oh
seen the
yeah.
dog whisperer. I know exactly what to do." So I went over there, grabbed the bone. She
Yep.
growled at me, and I like, "Nope, that's mine. That's mine." And then we just did that for like an hour. All the family did it. We just did it for an hour, and now
Yeah.
she's totally cool. She's totally,
Yeah.
you can take it from her. But it's like that's the thing about you got to nip that shit in the butt when she's
With the
45
with
pounds and she does that.
yeah.
Oh no, you've got a
Yeah.
problem.
That's opening up a cheek. Right? Just opening it up. And it's
Yeah.
true. You watch those shows, you do pick up and learn some shit. Like even I do that with my dogs. When they're pups too. And the first time they do it, you're right. I'm like, nope. And I actually get down with them and go to grab it. And when they growl, I show my teeth and like snatch it back from them and all of that because you got to show them, who's boss. But not only that, that this pack doesn't run that way.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And now that she's maybe 10 pounds. It's a lot easier to
mm,
do it now than it is
yes,
later.
sure the fuck
But
is.
I had to flex my Cesar Milan. Kids are so funny. Like I lie to my kids all the time, and
Yeah, you're a parent.
so we're about silly things, not about important things.
Right,
I always tell the truth about important things, but silly things I
right, right,
never tell the truth. And so I
right.
was telling my oldest, I'm like, Cesar Milan, I taught him everything that he knows. And he's like, really, Dad? And I'm like, yeah, watch. And then I told the dog, I was like, sit. And she sat it's just because. And I was like, see, I told you.
Yes.
And now I had my other Cesar Milan moment. So he's totally convinced that Cesar Milan has profited off of my knowledge.
But it still makes it look like you know what the fuck you're doing. So, and
Oh, dude. Oh,
what's
dude.
funny, yeah, I was gonna say what's funny is right now everything is a one word command. And I always tell people that get the dogs and all that in the beginning, I'm like, everything's a one word command. But as they get older, you can speak full sentences to those motherfuckers and they will fucking understand you beyond belief. It's like I'm not looking at them like, "Look, get the fuck up and go sit over there. Go by, and next thing just full sentences where
Yeah.
they just look to you. You're like, you look at them, I'm like, hey, where the fuck's Cheyenne? Just go get Cheyenne. And the dog will pop up and go over there.
That's funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it is.
Hey, so this past week, I'm a little removed from the Bay Area.
Oh yeah.
But I saw our distinguished congresswoman, third most powerful person in the country, go
The
get her hair
third.
done. Go get her hair done,
She did
and
get it good.
a blowout. And this is the same congressperson who says, "Hey, those businesses can't open, but I
Mm-hmm.
can go get my hair done." And I'm just
Mm.
looking at these fools, Lou. And the thing is that you see the exact same motherfucking people on Facebook who 3 months ago, all the Karens who wanted to get their hair done, it's like, oh, well, why don't you fucking think of somebody else for a second? You could kill my grandma. All these people so up in arms because one white lady wanted to get her fucking hair done. And now one white lady goes and gets her hair done, and everyone's like, it's not really that big of a deal. And you're
Yeah,
like, well, which is it, motherfucker? Which
and
is
not
it?
only that, it shows privilege beyond belief. And I'm not just talking about white privilege. It shows
This has nothing to do with
privilege.
race. Oh, for
Yeah,
fuck's
exactly.
sure.
Nothing at all. It's privilege, and it's a privilege. I call it PP, privilege of power. And
Yeah,
that's what they're shooting that in on. And what's
yeah.
funny about that is, her excuse. Her excuse was just about, hey, I talked to them. They told me that I could come in. I've come in before. Da 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 da. She's going on and on,
She,
and
this, this
uh-huh.
lady says her business. She can't run her business. Sorry, it's my 6-year-old just came back from Kohl's. Kiddo,
Like,
please. No, you don't need to find
right.
anything. This is my office.
It's like ain't shit in here for you, motherfucker. You don't
No,
need shit. You don't want shit. You ain't getting shit. Now get.
but you know, it's such a fucking racket. Like you have to think that this is a calculated move by Democrats to make the economy just grind to a halt, to put millions of people out of work and millions of small businesses and large businesses too going under, uh, uh, just to own Donald Trump for no other reason.
Ah,
They say there's an ordinance in San Francisco that says you can have 12 people over for your kid's birthday
right.
party, but you can have 100 people if you're having a protest. What and what in the holy fuck is that about? What is that about? You're telling businesses now, you're telling them you
Right.
have to be closed. I order you to be closed. But hey,
Mhm.
let me get in on the sneak tip, get a blowout.
Right. Well, I can see that now with the 100 people for the protest. I think they're kind of hedging themselves with letting people to have their First Amendment right. So I
Well, and I'm down with
undoubtedly
that. I'm down
right.
with that. But then I see a headline today in Newsweek that's like, oh, Labor Day fears of new outbreaks because people are having cookouts. It's like, motherfucker, they've been setting Portland on fire for 100 days.
Days at
That's
least.
not a problem. We
That's a fucking
know
problem.
we know
That
that
should be a problem with
sunshine
anybody.
we know that sunshine kills COVID. The safest place you
Mm.
can be is outside in the day with other people.
With this heat wave, hell yeah, shit.
Dude, it's
It'll
it's
fuck
it's cool here, dude. I don't know if you've seen the weather report, but there's a cold front from Canada coming down.
yeah.
Um, it's going to be in the 50s this week.
Ooh, burr.
Dude, summer's over here. Summer's
No.
over. It's like
Oh damn.
it's like 70 maybe,
Right.
75. It was supposed to be in the 80s this weekend, never hit 80s at all.
Oh,
And then
lovely.
so we're talking low 70s now. Man, my pepper plants aren't quite ready. They need like another 3 weeks,
Ooh.
and I don't know if I'm gonna make it, dude.
You
I
may
don't know
have
if
to bring them inside. Oh no, they're in the ground, right?
they're on the ground. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they're not.
burlesque.
They're in this huge. Uh, Everyone has them around town. They come from the feedlots, so they're these
Right.
big red Purina. They're like uh, probably 20 or 30 gallon things that I think they hold food for the cows. So
Right. I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Nice. So you got them and it all in that, but you still move.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna tell him to suck a dick. It's my fault. It's my fault. I fucked up. Same with my tomato plants. My tomato plants, I've gotten maybe like 3 or 4 tomatoes off of them. But like, dude, I've got maybe 4 weeks before the first frost. And I'm like just praying, just like, no,
And that's
please just,
amazing.
yeah. I've got all these about inch long eggplants. Hey, doll,
They're not going to win. They're not going to win. Eggplants are not going to win out there, especially at this time.
well,
I mean,
the
it's
other thing
fucking
is
like
like, I realized that like, how do you preserve eggplants? Because I got a bunch of canning to do this week, so I went. This is a great thing about living in the rural community is that there's a goddamn zillion farmers out there selling pounds of tomatoes for $1. And so
but there
I've
you
got
go.
10 pounds of Roma tomatoes sitting on my counter downstairs, ready to can. And that's what I'm going to do tomorrow with the kids because they're off school and I'm off work.
Right.
So we're going to can tomatoes. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, eggplant. Like what do you do with eggplant? You got to eat it.
Yeah, you have to. The only thing I know about eggplant is number one, I don't like it. Number two, make eggplant parmesan.
Yeah, you like it. You like it in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, that's what your mother
You
says
like
when I put it in her mouth.
you eggplant emoji.
Eggplant, yeah.
Have you seen the new blowjob emoji? So it's like a girl in ponytails on her knees.
No,
Have you seen that? I'll text
oh,
it to you later on.
please, I need that emoji.
I know. I text it to my wife like all the time. I'm like, hey, doll.
Yeah, that'll be a good. That's a good emoji to send your wife because I'm always trying to make sure. Hey, it's either a blowjob or a blow me, and it always just sounds like work. So the emoji is just.
Well, it used to be eggplant, water droplets,
Droppings.
mouth.
Yeah, right.
That's what I
It
used
used
to
to be that.
text. Now I
Yeah.
text eggplant, water drops, lady on her knees.
See, I need that, but I'm still gonna get from the other end of the house. No.
Well,
Uh, oh yeah. Shit. Sorry. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna take a nice this good goddamn whiskey.
if you're not watching the YouTube video, you can see old Lou raise his glass to all y'all.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like to raise to everybody. Either a whiskey glass or a girl's ass. And seeing that I'm so old, I can't lift a girl's ass anymore. So it's just gonna be that whiskey glass.
Oh, speaking of the tomato farmer guy, he reminded
Right?
me of you. He is so fat. Looked like he had a second stomach. He had a second stomach coming out of him. Like he stood up and there's like this giant bulge in on his giant belly. He put his
Oh my
fried
god.
chicken bucket down and I was like,
You
dude,
know the
you
word
just don't.
come to mind.
Well, that's one thing about living in a rural community, dude. You see a lot of jacked up motherfuckers walking around like,
Hey,
man.
did you just say the motherfucker put down his bucket of chicken?
Oh yeah. And then like, I don't know if it's his like daughter or his, maybe his sister or something who's kind of running.
Yeah,
And
it's his
she's like,
daughter and sister and wife, and only one woman
oh,
standing
come on. Don't you talk about my community that way.
there.
We don't do that here. This
I'd like
isn't
I'd like you to
Kentucky.
meet my mother. I'd like you to meet my sister. I'd like you to meet my wife, and only one woman
This,
standing there. Oh,
this isn't West Virginia. We're a proud state. We don't do stuff like that at all. Or with sheep.
or with sheep. Yeah, that's the sheep.
But there's just like gangs of people with the weirdest maladies and deformities
Oh my
missing. God. Oh my God. So I was at the store the other day. Like, it's funny, we call San Francisco the bubble, right? It's the bubble
Right.
for a lot. It's a bubble for a lot of reasons. For political views, for
Mm-hmm.
wealth,
Yep.
for comfort and
Integrating
culture.
communities and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the bubble is both positive and negative. When I say the bubble, like I mean it's a good thing and it's a messed up thing. The good part about it is in the bubble, you see mostly really beautiful people. When you leave the bubble, you see people with two stomachs or people with half their face missing. The other day I'm
Damn.
at the store in Walmart because that's basically the only place you can go here is to shop at Walmart. I'm at Walmart. Dude walks in front of us. I'm with both my kids, and they're like, "Hey, Dad, that guy doesn't have any arms." The guy just turns around, and I'm like, trying to make a joke out of it. I was like, maybe he was in a sword fight. And they were like, "Whoa, were you in a sword fight?" And the guy's just like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Oh my God. And you're just looking at him like, basically, you're just giving him the finger, just like, ah.
He can't even give the finger. He can't
I mean,
even give the finger.
he can't, you fucking bastard. Look at you. You leave California and your morals and everything just go out the window. You're flipping off fucking handicapped people, having your kids make fun of them. Look at you. You were in a sword fight. Oh, shit.
I
St.
didn't
Peter's
know
is
what
going to have
else.
that in the book.
I didn't know what else to say. Like I was trying to make them not stare and like because I'm really sensitive to that because when I was a kid, I had my head injury. I had to wear a helmet.
Right.
I got kids pointing
That's
at
so
me every day. Some kid would point at me, "Mom, look at that kid. Mom, what's
Mm-hmm.
wrong with that kid?" I'm super sensitive to it. Like, you know, but the
Didn't
other
show it
thing
that
is
day.
is like you don't want to be oh yeah, it affected my personality quite greatly there. I became quite resilient after that. It's like, well, what can I do? I have a gigantic hole in my head and I wear a hockey helmet. What can I do? Um,
Exactly.
uh, but another thing is you don't want to ignore people like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I better not look at them. Oh, just look away.
Right.
Like you feel that too. Like you'd feel
Mm-hmm.
people staring at you, and then you turn around and they'd all look away, and you're like, oh, they were all just staring at me.
Yeah.
So I think the only way that you can do is like just put good intentions forward. Like, hey, he got in a sword fight and got both arms chopped off.
Right.
Like,
Right. I learned one from The Simpsons, because the kids, when they do ask me, they're like, "Oh, what happened?" I'm like, "Hey, when they tell you to leave your fucking hands inside the ride, you better do so." That's all I tell 'em.
that's fucking hilarious, dude. That's fucking hilarious.
They're looking at you like, "Wait, you're walking with a cane." I'm like, "Mm-hmm."
Yeah, yeah.
That's better than when I first got injured. We've been over this, how angry I was and shit. I remember a kid fucking kept
It
kicking
can't.
my
It can't
cane.
be. It can't
Uh-huh.
be understated how angry you were, and it can't be
Yes.
how understated. What an awesome and forgiving person I am to still be your friend.
That
Because
goes
you
with
were.
everybody. They swear to God, my wife's a saint sent really literally from heaven.
Yeah, I've seen her get you back a bunch of times, though. I ain't gonna lie.
This day. This day, goddamn
Yeah, she'll do something, and I'll just be like, "Well, she's probably got just getting them back."
it. Yeah.
I'll be
Are you
like, "Hey,
kidding?
I don't know if you should. I don't know if you should do that to Lou." And I'm like, "Yeah, probably owes it. She probably got one coming to
Exactly. How
him."
many times have I need you to come get me. I'm not feeling well.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is code word for old Lou had too much to drink and knew he was supposed to drive his own ass home, but cannot. And therefore, he'll need her to not only bring his ass home, but also take his ass back to his car the next day.
Next day. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, yeah. My wife has gotten me back many times, and well deserved. I well deserved it. I will not lie.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Again, ladies and gentlemen, nice good sip off this whiskey as my man's
If you
taking a
do
nice.
have a moment, ladies and gentlemen, why don't you mosey on over to YouTube? Our channel is Hanging with Old Lou. You know it
Mm-hmm.
because it's we've got currently one video there, and
One.
maybe 4 subscribers. So
Yeah, and one of them isn't even my mama. But please go on over there, ladies and gentlemen. We need 1,000 people so we can do this shit live stream. So please go on out over to us on that YouTube, please.
if you do want to see
And
us live stream, yes, I'm talking over old Lou. That's what I do on the podcast. That's my job, is to talk over old Lou. Is that we do go live on Twitch every Monday evening at 5 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. or 3 p.m. Pacific, excuse me. And what would that be? 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 4 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yes.
And who knows what fucking time in Australia?
We don't know, but hey,
our Australian friends are going to have to do the math there. And it'll be in the metric system anyway, so, what can I say?
Yeah, we ain't helping you out there. We're not a phone book, goddammit. You can figure that out.
No, like a calculator. You don't go to the phone book to do math, do you? I think you're using the phone book wrong, if you are.
Yeah, it also might be the whiskey talking and just going out quick, but probably just my stupid. We'll go with that one. That one will be better. Can't blame the whiskey for everything.
I can blame you for most things.
I can blame for at least maybe one of my children.
Well, I did want to talk about our Instagram account, because if people who you can follow us on Instagram at Hanging with Old Lou, if you don't already. We have I've been putting up some memes with me and Lou sipping a drink in front of my old house, and then one with the mostly fiery but mostly peaceful protest of Kenosha, Wisconsin. The one with Adele wearing the Jamaican bikini and having her hair in braids, and the other with Nancy Pelosi and her mask and her hair. And the reason why I'm doing these, old Lou, is to shine a spotlight on the utter hypocrisy and stupidity of what's going on right now. To say to Adele that she can't wear a fucking bikini with a flag on it. What the fuck is a flag? We've talked about this shit before. A flag is a fucking piece of cloth. It doesn't represent jack shit. There's no cultural appropriation.
No. And most countries really don't pull their fucking flag out unless it's the goddamn World Cup. You know? I mean, most countries don't give a shit if you fucking wipe your ass with their flag. I mean, it's just incredible what Old Glory symbolizes, I guess, for a lot of motherfuckers here. I mean, oh, god damn it, you know?
What's the flag?
I mean,
what's the African country flag that has an AK on it? Mozambique. Sorry, I'm Googling. It's a lot easier to do it when Mozambique has like a sickle and an AK on its flag. I mean, which, by the way, I hear Mozambique is a gorgeous country. Isn't that where like the Atacama, or what is not the Atacama, the big preserve is?
Oh, is it out there?
I think it's partially there.
Wow, damn. Shit, I gotta put that on my bucket list and head out there. But shit, I don't know. A flag has an AK. Ooh. I'm surprised I'm surprised Mississippi doesn't do that with their flag. I mean, they got to change it anyway.
No, Mozambique is not the country that I'm thinking of. Yeah, all African countries look the same to me. So what?
And to them also.
I think I'm thinking of Tanzania. Tanzania is where
Uh,
the big nature preserve
the
is.
big preserve of
I
that.
would love to go to Africa. I almost went to Africa about 3 or 4 times, and it
Mm-hmm.
just never worked out. But then talking with some of my African friends, they're like, dude, it takes a full day to get there and
Just
back. And I'm like, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
it's a full fucking day. Mm-hmm. And I
I,
went
I,
there by ship. And that that's just because being in the military. But everybody I
is,
talk to
isn't
says
that
the
kind of
same fucking
ironic?
thing.
You took a ship from the United States to Africa. It's like
In this exactly.
me and W.E.B. Du Bois going back.
We went old school on them mother. But yeah, I mean, it does take forever and a fucking day to get there. But I mean, that's when you kind of got to get there when you get older and retire, so you can spend at least 3 weeks because
Yeah, yeah. It
it's
seems like you would have to.
hmm and really, and that's what I've been trying to, talking to my wife to save up when we make our fucking trip. When the last kid gets out of fucking high school, when we go to New Zealand and through Australia, I'll keep saying, hey, you're gonna have to take at least 3 weeks off. You got to save up because when we get back, you need to have at least like 2 or 3 days just to fucking acclimate yourself back to this goddamn.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah, man. That's the thing. Like traveling fucking takes it out of you. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
some of the sickest times I've ever been was being after like a long flight where you're jet lagged, like coming back from Europe or something, and you just get home and you're just like, fuck, I am dead. You know.
Yeah. Do you have any rituals when you get back from a trip?
Well, yeah, I do. I have a couple. So usually I kill a chicken, draw a circle of its blood into a pentagram while like chanting and holding beads. So that's what I do. Does that not what everyone does?
I know before I leave on any trip, I go and buy a fucking, a 6 pack of beer, put that motherfucker in the refrigerator. So the first thing I do when I come back home, when I walk through that door, it doesn't matter. I pop a fucking beer and just go walk up and sit in my room for at least 2 hours. I don't even always
How
make
did
sure I got a ice cold beer when I get back.
how did I know that your ritual involved drinking?
I'm an open book, motherfucker. I'm easy to read, goddamn
Oh,
it. I'm easy to read, but I'm in a hardbound, not a paperback.
you're hardcover.
Mm-hmm. Hardcover. That's right. That's right.
Man, when was the last time that you bought a physical book?
I want to say uh, back in March.
A physical book,
Mm-hmm.
not like an Audible book or like a book on your Kindle.
not, not like a Dr.
I
Seuss.
haven't bought a physical book since I think one of my friends' books came out, and I bought that. That's the only physical
Mm,
books I buy. If my friend's books comes out, not even that. I'm actually lying because one of my friends is like she writes these epic kind of fantasy novels,
I think I know who you're talking.
kind of uh,
I think I know who you're talking
and
about.
uh, I bought her or her book on Audible because I was like, it's like 16 hours worth of book, and I'm like, look, I got 2 kids. I'm not going to be able to get through this book unless I listen to it. Like it's just not going to happen. And I'm like, I know that doesn't give you the might not give you the money because your contract might be weird, but I just gotta. This is how I
Like it.
gotta do it.
But I'm still listening to it. I still know your work. Yeah, I actually is what I do.
Well,
What
it's
I'm
actually
trying to
cool
do is
because
not.
so she
Mhm.
does like these kind of Norse kind of epic fantasies, and she got this Swede or Norwegian or whatever to read it, and so he's actually does a
Right,
really good job. I usually do not like it when authors like because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I don't like it
right.
when someone who isn't the author reads it, because they just don't read it the right way, you know?
Okay.
As someone who's a writer and who really prides himself on reading, on performing the piece,
Right.
no
Right.
no one can perform it except for the author. You know, you got all
Mm.
these fucking
But
soap opera actors and whatnot reading somebody
what
else's
if those
work. It's just
actors went and hung out with the fucking author for at least 2-3 weeks to get their mannerisms and all that? You think that would
no,
work for you?
no,
No.
nope. Nobody can read it but the author. It's kind of to me, it's kind of sacrilege, but you know, motherfuckers want to make money. You know.
Money. Oh, hey, you can make money, and once you make enough money, then you can start doing it your way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what people's contracts looks like, but I would imagine that they're first of all they're probably getting ripped off because it is the publishing industry, and
Usually,
secondly they're like
usually,
they probably got a stable of voice actors where they're just like, this is just quick and easy. Where if the author
mm,
read it, the author would have to like, oh, you got because like when we started podcasting, like we didn't have it down. It took us, quite a few months to figure out how to broadcast, how to be broadcasters, how to talk into a microphone and say
yeah.
intelligent things. Oh, I mean, not intelligent things, just things.
Just to talk and be yourself. I mean, I tell people that all the time when they even ask me about starting a podcast. I said, look, I said, I got my boy. He's right there with me, and because I was the one that would even come to me and be like, "Damn, I don't know if we should, say this or this." And you
Yeah,
even said to me even earlier, if we go back and listen to our earlier podcast, even you took me and said like, "Look, motherfucker, you might be cursing a little too much, or not everybody cares about sucking dick and da 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 da." Like you can see how we've grown through that.
yeah,
Oh, and
yeah,
you're right. I mean, you have to learn all of those steps.
yeah, for sure. It's you have to start everything with a beginner's mind. Like just be open to failing. You're not
Mm,
gonna get it right away. You're just not going to. And if you come in with that attitude that I should know this, I should do it, you're gonna end up frustrating yourself, and you're definitely not going to succeed in your endeavor. And so, I mean, I
mhm.
just think like one thing about the podcast that makes me really happy and thankful to have it is all the stuff that I've learned. Like the behind the scenes stuff, the technology.
Knowledge.
Now right now we're looking at each other view via switcher, and uh, we'll be on YouTube, and I knew video editing stuff. I didn't really know audio editing stuff. Learned all that, and that's really been cool because I enjoy learning things. Um, you kind of have to, in life.
You do.
If
You
you don't
do.
enjoy learning, you're just going to be the same person you were 20 years ago. You know.
Hmm. And even it was you that even kept pushing us to get on video. I was the one that was more apprehensive. I was more like, look, I'd rather get this down, because I know going live, especially, I'll just say, I don't give a fuck. We all know I'll say some shit off the cuff. And it's just that I don't want to fuck. And I kept saying to you, I don't want to fuck shit up for you, because I don't give a fuck. You can hate me all you want or tell me I said something different,
You
and
can't be
again, like,
canceled. Yeah,
yeah,
you
if,
can't be
if you're
canceled.
pissed, write us at hangingwitholu at gmail.com. I mean, you can write us there. All right. Go to our website, hangingwitholu.com, and, voice your opinion there. But again, that's what I was saying, when I tell people, when people were like, well, aren't you on this? I'm like, no, we haven't gone on video yet. It's because I'm, I don't, like I said earlier, I don't want to fuck shit up for you because motherfuckers would be like, hey, you were with that fucking prick that said all, I just say one thing or get on live and do one thing and then we blow up for the wrong reason.
Well, that's something that really bums me out about the culture that we have today. Like we were talking about with Adele of being shamed. Adele, one of
Mm-hmm.
like the biggest stars, celebrities, whatever, being shamed for wearing a fucking bikini and having braids in her hair. It's like she can get shit on for that. Like some of the
Yeah.
like you should recognize intent, motherfucker. Recognize. I hear so many people today say intent doesn't matter. Fuck you and
Oh,
fuck
fuck, it
off.
does. Yeah, fuck you. And even still, I mean, so she's wearing a bikini. But again, we remember Adele when she first came out. And she was out. She was fucking, she had some weight that she was carrying with her. Now she lost it. Now, anybody that I know that loses weight, what do? They take a picture of them fucking selves skinny. I mean, so that that right there should, empower people like, hey, I can do it too.
Yep.
Not why she did it or da da da. It's like, hey, look, I can do that shit too. And again, when you're fucking fat like my monkey ass, oh goddamn, wait till if I ever become skinny. I'm gonna be taking pictures from every goddamn view that there could. I mean, everything. I'm gonna have a view of my ass crack because it'll be skinnier. I mean, so and then with the braids in the hair, what the fuck is that? I mean, we didn't get mad at Pippi Longstocking for putting braids in her hair. Why the fuck are you gonna get mad at Adele for?
Well, let's
Adele,
talk
sorry.
about that for a second because this has come up a lot recently, especially in light of like, the whole the resurgence of Black Lives Matter is that
Right.
people are saying that white people and white people are coming out and being bitches themselves and saying I wore dreadlocks, I cut them off, I realized I was culturally appropriating. It's like, can white people or any people of any other race wear braids? I mean, I
Yeah.
I had my sister went to beauty school, and
Right.
I was a huge fan of Allen Iverson, and I had her braid my hair. My hair was long. I had it
Right.
braided kind of like
Yeah.
him. My dad called me a fag, by the way, and uh,
I mean, you're not a faggot just because you like to say it's a. All right.
no, because he was sitting in, and I was with my sisters and like another girl, and I was in their room, and he was just like, "What are you doing?
Right.
Like that's not man
Hey,
shit. Go out and chop wood."
that's bullshit.
But like, you know, it was just paying homage. Again, intent was like I was 17. I loved Allen Iverson. I thought he was the shit. I still do. And you're just experimenting. What Easy E had braids then too, and probably that had something to do with it. But
Well, but
like,
but that's okay. I mean, you want to emulate and all that shit. And what do I always say? If I fucking knew I was gonna lose my hair, I'd color it every fucking color, that I could have. Like now, shit. It's like get what you like. I mean, I, and I laugh at that. Like I said, I mean, if she's putting braids in her hair, well, guess what? Somebody had to braid her fucking hair, and it was probably a professional. Which that means that somebody's got a fucking job. They're doing
yeah,
their.
yeah.
I I don't. It's back in the day. When they would see somebody who was white, but they would say trying to act black. What they call them, like black
Wiggers, wiggers.
wigger. Yes, yes, yes. And it's just like, well, first of all, the motherfucker's growing up here. What the fuck do you expect? This is his community or her community. Like
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? I mean, and plus, and again, ladies and gentlemen, if you fucking like it, fucking put fucking braids in your hair, do whatever the fuck. Get a tattoo of fucking Wu-Tang, goddamn it. I mean, get
yeah.
all. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? That's not appropriation.
Well,
That's not.
I mean, you hit on a really good point about the employment factor there. Because whenever you go to a tropical foreign country, there are people
Mm-hmm.
who sell their services as braiding their hair. You
Hair.
know, I
Yes.
mean, and that's the thing. It's like those are probably the single women or moms or whatever. That's like a woman's job. Like you're shitting on women when you do that. Like say, oh, you shouldn't do that. Okay, well, I won't do that. If you go to Mexico or you go to the Bahamas or
Yes.
remember that Friends
All over.
episode when Monica gets the shells braided into her hair? Like
Yeah.
it's
but you're supposed to do that. I mean, when you go on
Why
vacation,
not?
you go into another culture, you immerse yourself in the culture. So,
Yeah.
so if you put braids in your hair, you're what, appropriating it. But if you fucking fix the meal that you learn how to fucking cook down there, it's a good, delicious meal. I
Well,
mean,
I don't even know if it's that. I think that's appropriating too. You know,
yeah, but
there's
that's
a
what I'm saying. But nobody's gonna say you're appropriating it, the meal. You're just making a
people have
fantastic.
said that.
Oh,
People,
really? But they haven't said
yeah.
it to me. I'll tell them
Well,
fuck off.
the whole is a couple years ago. The whole thing about Taco Tuesdays and
Uh,
like there was a white lady in somewhere in New York City who
right,
had a clean Asian food restaurant, and they
right.
ran her ass out of business. Like once they found out that she was a white lady running it, and it's like, there's something that
Here's
happened.
the
It's fucked up, man, dude. I've been texting my boys that live in Portland because everyone knows I went to Portland
right.
State, represent y'all. Uh,
Woo-hoo, woo-hoo.
Man, those motherfuckers are like, just stay away. Like this, it's nuts there, dude. It's my boy. Our boy is
Oh,
up there, and I'm like, how is it for you? Are you being safe, man? Because I'm just seeing white people fight each other, and he's like, bro, I'm just trying to just stay focused on my family, and
there you
I go to work, I come home, and that's it. And I'm just like,
go. Put my head down. I don't fucking
yeah.
look up. I don't want a motherfucker to think that I'm for whatever or down for this. Oh yeah,
Well, it's funny because he's African, and so there's a very
hmm
different position that African people have, immigrants from Africa,
yeah.
than
He's yeah.
Black Americans have. Like he, you know, a lot of them just like I don't get what you're talking about, and there's there are uh, there are a lot of issues that they might not be sensitive to. You know what I mean? Like someone might
Right,
say a certain thing to him and he won't get it. Like maybe they just don't mean anything. Maybe they do mean something, but he
right.
won't understand it. Whereas a Black American who grew up and who's seen all this before and has been
hmm
told about it, they're like,
hmm
oh, well, this must be racism because somebody told me about it. Whether it is or it isn't, I don't know. We're talking in
Right,
hypotheticals, but like that's part of it. Part of it is also like just the stigma. It's like we're talking about like tearing down like statues of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and
right.
whatnot. It's like if that's what the country is founded on, and if uh, I really like this term uh, that people have been using. What is it? DOS. So I'm a DOS. I'm a descendant of slaves. I
Okay.
think that's like a really good term to like, hey, this is where I come from, and that really makes me. Uh, it really puts my thinking cap on and trying to engage with people. Who are like, that's how I identify, and because when you think about it, it's like, fuck, man, how many motherfuckers are running around that they their grandpappies, their great 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 grandpappies used to be fucking slaves. Like
Right.
that's an important thing to realize and to recognize. And so when you say, or say, uh, Black Lives Matter and all this, it's because you need to recognize that, like, fuck, man, there were slaves up in this motherfucker, and
Well,
like,
I mean that. Yeah, I was going to say with that. Yeah, and it all see, and that's why it ties back into the statues. Now, I'm not for taking down George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, things of that nature. I
they were
was
slave owners,
always
weren't they?
yeah, but I mean, and I'm just for like taking down the Confederate shit and things of that nature, things that you start to realize and really look at. And when motherfuckers always step, and we've done this before, you just can't step to me and just tell me it's my heritage,
Yeah.
because then you're saying that what my heritage is about. doesn't fucking matter. And it just goes where you're like, look, that shit needs to be taken down. It just really does,
Well,
and
I had this conversation a couple weeks ago with a few people who consider themselves quote unquote Southern. And I was like, you got to explain this to me, and you have to do a really good job because it's a long hill to climb to tell me that the Confederate flag, because it's part of your fucking heritage, makes you a proud American. Because those two things don't jive to me. You tried to destroy America.
thank you.
This flag means slavery. It means anti-America.
Anti-American. Yes, yes.
And they're just like, well, it's just our heritage. And I'm like, that's not that's not an argument that works here. It's just you're just saying it's like a kid asking mom, like, why can't I do this? She said, because I said so. Like
right.
It works on kids, but it doesn't work on people who actually think. Like, well, it's my heritage. Okay, what the fuck does your heritage mean? Your heritage is seditious. Your heritage is violent. Your heritage is about segregation and separatism and people trafficking. Where is the good there? Like, it's anti-American
and losing. Right, your heritage is about losing.
Motherfuckers. Oh my god, dude! I pissed off a huge group of people in Athens, Georgia. One time, I was wearing my Yankees hat. So everybody knows that I grew up in New York as a Yankees fan. Now, if you're watching the YouTube video, you know I spent 26 years in San Francisco, and the Giants are my team because American League Baseball is the spawn of Satan and the designated hitter. I've come to see the light. I have been redeemed, ladies and gentlemen. I was born a sinner, and I've asked the baseball gods for forgiveness, prostrated myself.
And you have been healed, my brother. You have been healed.
I have. The designated hitter is fucking satanic.
It is. And again, shout out to the Yankees, because if it weren't for you motherfuckers, we probably wouldn't have met. Well, probably, yeah. Everybody knows that our first conversation, the first time we ever met, was because the Yankees were fucking up. But continue on, my brother.
Yankees won the World Series that year.
They sure did.
They beat the A's in the playoffs, and that was their first of what? How many? 7 did they win? 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. But it was during that time. This is where I become legit Giants fan. It was during that time where the Yankees were winning all those World Series that I switched to liking the Giants.
You did.
But
I remember that. I was like, wait, what?
It's just too hard to listen to their games. They're on the East Coast. They're playing at like 1:30 in the afternoon. You're like, that's like what? That's like 10 a.m. I'm not getting up and listening to baseball. Yeah. What the fuck?
No, you're not worried. You're asleep, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, yeah, back then, dude, I slept in.
Oh, yeah. So how did you piss these motherfuckers off in Georgia?
Oh, that's right. So someone was talking about Confederate flags. It was a Confederate flag, and I was drunk, like usual, and I was just like, stood up and said, "Y'all motherfuckers lost, and we'll come back down here and make sure you lose again."
We need to put that on the shirt.
We'll come back down here and make sure you lose again. Something like that. Don't make us come down here. Something.
That is beautiful.
Something that probably should have got me a few less teeth in my mouth, but it didn't.
We've all said some crazy shit like that, but that's beautiful. You motherfuckers lost the war and don't make us come back down here. You're losing again. God bless. So, how did people not kick your ass?
I think they were just shocked. I just think that people were just shocked.
Like, did this motherfucker just call us losers? And that he'll come kick her
And
ass
then he
again.
sat down and started drinking again. All right, well, I guess.
Hey, well, soon as you sat back down and started drinking, they were cool with you. Then they were like, oh, okay, that's my kind of
Yeah,
guy. He'll sit up and say what's on his mind, but he'll sit down and have a beer with us. He's cool.
yeah. So, yeah, that's not a Southerner. That's more of a Midwestern attitude. So to say,
Ah, it's been a while since I've been down south, goddamn.
well,
We
don't go.
all know why. Yeah, as I said, we all know why. We do.
Yeah, because if you're looking at a house that's being built, some guys can come and shoot you with a shotgun, and it's no big deal.
Exactly. And blame you.
Yeah, it's your fault. Why did you grab the gun?
Yeah. No.
Don't ever
Like
try
you
to
did.
take. I love that defense. Don't ever try to take a gun from someone that has a gun pointed at you. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's
That's the
trying to kill you.
first thing. Yeah, that's the first thing that I'm gonna do.
I always tell everybody, don't just stand here. Just go right directly at a motherfucker. What's the worst that's going to happen? Well, you can get shot. Well, you can really still get a hold of somebody.
And you can still really get shot when you're 10 feet away from them and you're going, hands up, don't shoot me. You can
Thank
still
you.
get shot as just as much. There's equal
Mhm.
amount of shooting that happens point blank or 10 feet away.
You get a little bit of column A with a little bit of column B. Goddamn.
You
Doesn't
know,
matter.
I always say, you point a gun at someone, you better shoot them to kill. Because
Mm,
that motherfucker, as soon as you point a gun at someone, you give the other person the right to kill you.
at least when you put that weapon down, knock the fucking
I
shit
don't
out
care
of you.
if you put the weapon down, they still can shoot you. If
I
you
will.
point a gun at someone, you give them the right to kill you anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Months
You
later,
do.
come just knock on their house. Ding dong. Hey, Domino's is
You
here.
do.
Kaplow.
Oh no. Oh no. Bullshit. You do. You do. Because there's a time when when my monkey ass is fucking around on the firing range, and I fucked up, missed this target, and this corporal, this motherfucker kicked me, right? And me and him weren't friends and all this horse shit. Anyway, motherfucker kicked me, so I popped
So he
right
was a
up.
smart guy.
Hey, he was about to have a hole in his head. No, that
Keep going.
motherfucker kicked me.
Keep going. I'm
He
going to go
kicked me.
downstairs and refill my beverage. I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Oh, go
Okay.
refill it. All right, that's good. We can't hear you because he probably stuck. Yeah, no, no. I had this motherfucker kick me, and he kicked me good. It fucking hood. And I popped up, and I had my rifle in my hand because we on the firing range. I was down in a prone position, which is fully laying down, shooting at this target. Missed it. He kicked me like, "Hey, Lewis, you fucking suck," and like kicked me hard. I popped up and had my fucking weapon right at him, and they made you stop and all this shit. So we had to go before the man and all this, and I got some money taken away and all this horse shit. But yeah, every time I passed him, he kept telling me, he's like, "Hey, I haven't forgot that you pointed your weapon at me, and we're going to settle this." We did not like each other, and most of the time, every time he said that, I was like, "Well, we can settle it now." But it was usually, in front of a lot of people and this and that. Because even one time when he was working, I guess what we call night duty, he working it, and I come stumbling in, and this motherfucker's like, "Hey, I ain't forgotten." I was like, "Hey, it's 2 a.m. Ain't nobody out here. Let's just fucking fight it out, goddamn." But
How
yeah,
did you
he
get your
he
head injury
he
again?
never. Yeah, but he never. I mean, he never let that go. And you're right. I mean, I did always look, around me whenever I was like walking and shit. Like, Corporal might be
Getting
out here.
payback from way back.
Oh, he was. Hey, he was because he did get chastised and he was all mad about that shit. But more mad that I
So
pointed a
what
weapon at him.
happens? What happens when you pull a weapon? You have to go where to see who's the man.
Well, I had to go see the colonel. Not well.
Colonel
And I went
Potter.
with my. I wish. Damn, I even forget the guy's name, but I went with my captain, who was a hard charger, We called him Captain America. This motherfucker was always running you down. And, he was there, and my first lieutenant, he was there. And, they were saying, well, he did kick you and but still, I kind of got the raw end of the deal a little bit.
What do you mean they took money away from you?
Well, when you get in trouble, there's a whole lot of articles they can really get you under. But one of the main articles they get you is called Article 22. That's an unbecoming of a Marine. And usually when you get that one, then they say, all right, you got 45 days stuck on base, and then we'll take, pay from it. And that's what that is. And they
can
took
take
money.
Pay from you?
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, hell yeah.
No, I didn't. I wasn't in the fucking. I was too smart to go into the fucking military.
Oh no, they take money from you in a heartbeat. They take as much as they can and leave you with enough to get toiletries, and that's just about it because they feed you, so you already get 3 meals. And we've talked about this before. In the fleet, you can eat. He said, "I have a sensitive stomach." Oh no, once you hit the fleet, it's a whole different type of food. I mean, it's delicious. But anyway, yeah. Okay. So they take enough money away from you, so you really can't go out. You can't do this. Oh yeah. I mean, fuck, it did suck. But again, what we're talking about again, yeah, that motherfucker never let that shit go. I mean, every time I saw him, he was, even I'd be walking across the parade deck on the other side, and he'd see me and be like, "Lewis, I fucking am gonna get you still for pointing your fucking weapon at me." I wouldn't wave. I'd just be flipping them off, going like that.
Well, then, I think it should be said. So I will amend if you point a gun at me, I reserve the right to shoot you in the future. If you have a gun and I don't, and then we're not in direct conflict, and then I kick you and you go, "What the fuck?" and point a gun at me, I don't deserve to go and shoot you. I've lost my right to do that. I can fight you later on, but I can't shoot you.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing. I kept on, "Well, we can fight, motherfucker."
How complicated would the civil code be if I were in charge?
I think there'd be like 3 or 4 codes.
Here in section 34A-C/9 on page 23, it says you were laying down and he had sneakers on and not boots. So when he kicked you, it didn't hurt as much. So you only got to point a knife at him and not
point a knife at him. Oh yeah. Oh God, that shit takes me back. And it was funny too because you're sitting there before the man, and he even asked him, he's like, "Why would you kick him? What was the point of kicking him?" Well, I was just trying to make him shoot back.
When you get kicked, does your aim get steadier? I don't know.
We didn't find out because my aim was going to be good. It was going to hit him somewhere.
My aim is true.
It was going to be true as a motherfucker because he was only a few feet away from me. Goddamn. I mean, oh man, that shit was a trip because everybody went off. Ceasefire. I mean, like it went over the mic. All the instructors over here. I mean, it was almost like they started to say it just as he kicked, because I did move and kind of lift up a little, and then that's when I was like, "Oh fuck this shit," and like I jumped right up, and I was just like, "Ah." Yeah. And then what made it even worse for me, like it was like I would say like a month and a half later, I was still about to get, and I didn't get in too much trouble for this. Is where we are on the base, there's fucking tarantulas all over.
Yeah.
Right. So motherfuckers picked up a tarantula, dropped it on me. I'm scared of spiders, so I got up and fucking hit this dude with the butt of my fucking right. Yeah, and broke his jaw.
Oh, dear Jesus, Jeffrey.
And I'm sitting there again, and they're like talking to me. I'm like, look, you can't just drop a tarantula on a motherfucker who's sitting there just, drinking, out of his canteen, just chilling, like, oh shit, it's hot, doo-doo. And then they boom. I mean, I hopped up. I was like, laughing. I just turn around, just whoop, whoop. And next thing you know, there we are. And then you're looking at him because it was like 4 days after the incident. So the guy's sitting there and he's like, do you have anything to say? And he's like, well, I can't really say anything.
That's like waving at
Oh,
a blind person. Do you have anything to say? Well, my fucking jaw's broken, asshole. I
yeah.
have plenty to say. I have plenty to say, but no way to say it.
And it was funny too because they just kept looking at him. Well, it was all your fault, actually. You shouldn't have dropped it on him. And I'm just sitting there going, hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, but hey, thank God for having kids because kids have made me a little bit more stronger towards spiders because I don't want them seeing me freak out like a little bitch. So now,
Well, newsflash: your kids already know you're a little bitch. So sorry about that.
oh, don't be.
Just what it is.
Just to let everybody know, it's halftime in this basketball game, and Milwaukee's up 58 to 48. So we'll see what happens there.
I hope they both lose.
Mm. God, that would be interesting.
I wish it was possible that they both could lose.
That'd be hey, that's a good one. I'd like to see that happen. They both lose. There's no way. No way.
I just can't get into the NBA and all this bullshit. Like,
Their protest or just how they have the shit set up.
not their protest. I don't fucking care. I mean, they can
Right.
protest,
Just how they have
but
it set up, huh?
well. Okay, so I'll walk that back. Yes, some of their protests. Remember, we talked about this on this fucking podcast when they were in China for the preseason, and then
Right.
what's his name from the Rockets tweets out, we stand with Hong Kong, and then all these players, LeBron James leading the charge, denounced that. Well, no, we're friendly with China. China's killing more motherfuckers than anybody. Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
What about the fucking Uyghurs? What about the Tibetans? What about the fucking free
Yeah.
Tibet? The Beastie Boys said that 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Why you bullshit?
And LeBron
Yeah.
James, I don't know. That we shouldn't be saying that. Sucking China's dick. Like, Donald Trump isn't fucking wrong when he, they're making him look good. Like, this is nuts. Like, China is not a good actor in this.
In this world.
No.
Huh.
And so when they're seeing people in Hong Kong protesting, getting shot in the streets for just wanting to be free, they're fighting for their fucking freedom. They're fighting for their fucking lives. And LeBron James goes, I like China because of money. But now it's like I want to cancel the whole fucking season because I saw a guy get shot. I don't know any of the circumstances behind it, but fuck white people or whatever. And
and he's standing up for a system that from China. When, if we remember, during Tiananmen Square, after all that shit was over, they literally sent a bill to the parents for the bullet that they shot their kids with.
Yeah,
that's who they're standing up.
It's illegal in China to even mention Tiananmen Square.
Yep.
And this is what LeBron James, James Harden, and others defend. Like,
money.
If you think that America, this is the thing, America is a safe, welcoming. It's the safest it's ever been right now. To say that
Mhm.
so this is what I wanted to kind of ask you too. In our remaining few minutes, I see we just pushed the hour and 10 minute mark.
Ooh.
I don't want to rant about um, people that I see being super disingenuous and hypocritical, even though that's what I've done basically this entire podcast.
Yeah. Let,
But I do want to ask
let me be
some
hypocrite. All right.
no, but I do want to ask some serious questions. Like, you know, we do need to make some serious changes as far as law enforcement goes in this country. I think we all get that. Like,
Well, it shows with the
I
demographic
was in
of
the
who's out there protesting that we need a change in the police
as sure as shit.
faction area, whatever. Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I think I've told this on the podcast before that I was in Faith, South Dakota, a town of maybe 45 people. I walk into the police station because I'm lost. There's nothing in the police station but an old Dell laptop and a card table. And then whoever the officer is comes out and immediately puts his hand on his weapon.
Yeah.
He's in his house. He's in his police station. Like, that motherfucker should be removed and probably put under heavy psychiatric care.
Something. And let's put it another, and let me take it just a racial step further. That you is why you're white and you're walking in and the first reaction is my hand on my gun.
I'm actually Jewish, but yeah, go ahead.
But your skin is,
Thank you for denying my culture. You fucking asshole.
Your skin still gets really pink in the heat.
Oh, we're white. Our skin is white as fuck. Like I have investments in sunscreen manufacturers.
He's like,
every time I buy sunscreen, I get 15% off.
You're like, yeah, but still, that's what I'm saying.
Is paid myself.
You get to walk into a police station and it's it's not like some motherfucker named Pookie with fucking braids and this and that and shit that you could think of out of the fucking ghetto. It's someone like you walking in and the first thing he does is put his hand on his weapon. Like you are absolutely right, and that's what we're talking about, as in the change in the police system. That's what we're talking about. I'm not talking about the da-da-da-da. Same way, it's that. If your first, like you said, if your first instinct is to hold on to your weapon, you're right. You need to go get some psychiatric help and talk to someone.
Well, I think also that it speaks to the ill training, or probably no training, this person has received. When I see people who push back against the training aspect of cops, these people obviously don't know any cops. I know a lot of cops. I know feds. I know local city PD.
Each level.
And the amount of training they get is like zero. It's literally zero. I asked a buddy of mine. I saw him in uniform downtown, and I'm like, and we just started talking about his gun, and I was like, yo, man, like, if I were from here to there, so basically 15 feet away, could you hit me? And he's like, I'd be like 50-50 if I could hit you. And I'm like, how much do you shoot, man? He's like, I have to shoot twice a year. I have to go to the range twice a year, and that's it. I'm like, twice a year? You carry that gun every day.
Thank you.
Like, yeah. He's like, I wouldn't pull it out if you were more than 15 feet away from me. But I'm like, well, what about the motherfuckers that would pull it out? That's like when you see cops shoot 60 times and guy gets hit 5. And
5. I pointed that out to people all the fucking time. I'm like, look, guys, how the fuck do you not go to a firing range? I mean, you make fun of these motherfuckers in a drive-by that hit all over the place and never hit them. The popo don't be hitting everybody all that goddamn,
They have
as
access
precise.
to a range, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, that also goes back when you say, hey, when you have to draw down on a live target. I mean, hitting a moving target, all bullshit aside, is hard as a mother.
Which
I
is
mean,
why you shouldn't be trying to shoot that motherfucker,
mm,
right?
not a crowded place.
Not in any place. Dude, a 22 bullet can fly a mile.
Yes,
A
yes,
20 so ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with firearms, a 22 is a very small light caliber that you could
oh,
probably let a 7-year-old shoot with no problem.
yeah. There's no back. There's really not that much of a kick backfire with it at all. There really is. And a 22. Ooh, yeah. That's what, a step above pellet.
Yeah, that's basically above an air rifle, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just right there. I mean, whew, yeah. It's just interesting, that people don't realize that with popo, that they don't shoot as much as you think they do,
They
and
don't
they're
do
not.
shit as much as you think they do.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Mhm.
they've shown psychologically that, so cops work, we've talked about this maybe in the last podcast, 4 days on, 3 days off, three
Mm.
days on, 4 days off. Hey, girl. All right, you guys want to see the dog?
Yeah, bring the dog up. Bring the pup up.
She's like double in size. Oh,
Oh,
there she is.
other
There
way.
we are.
There you go. Oh, look at that.
Where's
Really?
my
Is
girl?
she gonna get
Where's my
bigger?
girl? She's doubled in size since we saw her Monday on Twitch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Peach. How you doing, Peach? Is it just Peach or Peaches?
Peachy Peach. That's
Oh, Peachy Peach. What's up, Peachy Peach?
a good girl. That's a good girl.
And you don't have any felines with you still, do you?
Yep, we got 2 cats. We
Oh,
adopted
okay.
one when we first got here.
Now that I did.
Huge mistake. Well, I sent my wife and my oldest to the. So we got her from the shelter, just like the cat,
Right.
and like pick out a cat because we thought that the cat that we traveled with, Mogwai, was very lonely because we had to put
Hmm.
our cat down right before we left. Then we moved into
Right,
this
right.
big house, and whoa, yeah, don't come in here, please. I don't want you on camera. Because the pedophiles are everywhere.
All over.
You,
So you thought the cat was lonely, but the cat wasn't lonely, huh?
I think it was just adjusting to this gigantic house from a tiny apartment.
Right,
Because
right,
it
right.
would go down into the basement and hide all day. Like there's like lots of nooks and crannies by the boiler, and there's this like closet
Nice.
by the laundry, and it would just hide. And so that's why we got the cat. But the new cat, sees him and starts fighting with him. The others don't get along because it's a girl and a boy, and so
Uh,
boy
so you're
cats
gonna
are
have to
more.
watch My Cat from Hell now.
No,
So you
she's a
can.
good cat. She's totally fine. She's not a cat from hell, but she doesn't like the other cat, and that's the whole reason we got her. You know.
Yeah, I know how that is. Oh man.
Hey, get up, get up. To teach my youngest, he is the worst pack leader. We're talking about Cesar Milan. He's the worst pack leader.
Yeah. He's the youngest, so
Yeah,
everything flies.
yeah. But yeah, she's a good girl. Huh? Not Peach.
She's a good dog. So you're gonna have her walking in between your legs and attacking people on command, and all the shit that we see dog owners doing now.
Nope, nope.
Gonna wear
Yeah.
her
Oh,
own
for sure.
jacket.
No, she's a good girl. It's just so funny that like how quickly they get attached to you and you to them. Like she's with me all day, every day, and like it's just like when you wake up, she's like, "Hi, how's it going? What are you doing? Let's play ball. Let's do this. And you're just like, okay. And like, she follows you around the house. If you leave, you know, you leave outside the fenced-in yard, she starts whining, and then
Whining.
yeah, it's
Have
it's
you
really
stepped
cool.
on her yet?
What's that?
Have you stepped on her yet?
Oh no, my oldest has stepped on her every day that she's had. That
Oh,
she's been here.
yeah. Well, that's what usually our pets run into their problem. Like the first couple of months is with me. It's like, look, I don't lift my leg that fucking high, goddamn it. So you need to get the fuck out my way. And they usually learn that within the first couple of months. Like, oh shit, this motherfucker's coming here. Let me sit up and move out the way. Look, God, get out. Hey, oh, I see the little poochie pooch right now. Look at
Oh,
that.
she's so big.
She still has that puppy breath, huh?
Oh, she smells like a puppy.
Yeah,
New,
that puppy.
I would rank new car smell and then next puppy smell.
Ah,
New car smells the best though. Let's face it, because that means you
hey,
got a new car.
the car. That means you're coming up in the world, goddamn.
Puppy smell just means that somebody didn't get their dog fixed, right? It's so
Yeah,
funny
and
because
then
like walking around, like, because I take her everywhere, like when I go get the kids from school or whatnot, and people are like, "Oh my god, that's a beautiful yellow lab," and I'm like, "This is a mutt masquerading as a lab. It's like an ill-fitting costume that anyone
I
can see." She's got the curly
yeah,
tail, it looks like she's got a
right, and
long terrier in her.
the curly tail is a sure sign of a mutt because we all know that actually an original dog has a curl tail and is about what 50 pounds, whatever. I
Yeah,
mean, like that's actually a fucking dog right there.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what that is,
Well, the
And I
trouble
looked
is,
when you popped her up,
that
I
they're
looked
too
at her. I was
smart.
like, yeah, well, yes, yeah. Some dogs, especially mutts, are very, very smart. Sometimes some would say even too smart for their own good, guys.
She
You know?
is for sure. But
Mm-hmm.
it's been nice having another member of the Citrak family, and it's been so long since I've had a dog, man. It's
Yeah.
it's really cool, and it's great too because it's a good reminder. So I work from home, and it's a good reminder to get up, go outside, move
Mm-hmm.
around. So like every 2 hours, I got to get up and you know,
Go have your morning coffee, your
yeah.
afternoon fucking lemonade, and your evening fucking whiskey drink.
Speaking of lemonade, I've got to go to the store to get some lemon juice because um, I realized that apparently when you can tomatoes, you need to put some lemon juice in there.
Okay. What for the acidity or just
I think so to combat like harmful bacteria like botulism or something. I don't know 100%. It's been a long time since I canned tomatoes, dude. Uh, but that's what I'm doing. So,
can them right now because you don't want to wake up to shit just popping off. You know.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And for some of our listeners, if you don't know, if you don't can your shit right, it will come popping right back up. It'll explode right on you, and it's usually a couple of hours after you finish, canning all the shit or putting them into jars. And the next thing you know, you're here.
Yeah. Well, you want to hear something super funny? Is that in town here, there are no mason jars to be purchased. The shelves are empty.
bet, I bet you have to go on
I
Amazon to get those.
I went to 4 different stores today to get mason jars. So like the only 4 stores to get mason jars, and they're all gone. Luckily, I didn't realize that I had a box of them, so I think I'm gonna
Right?
be okay. But it's
You got to
crazy,
get
dude.
that on
Like,
Amazon. In that area, you're gonna have to
well,
do it by Amazon.
it's that's it. It's like, well, everybody's canning. The guy at uh, the one grocery store I went to, he's like, I was like, I guess I'm a week late. He's like, a week late? My
Yeah.
sister finished canning 2 weeks ago or a month ago or whatever. I'm like, huh? She finished canning last week. And I'm like, finished? Man,
What?
I still got green tomatoes in my garden
Man,
and
you're,
an
you're
inch-long eggplant.
I'm like, damn, you almost like Green Acres, motherfucker. Move right from the city to the guy and just don't know and just going out on.
Almost like Green Acres, except for my wife is a lot prettier than Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Well, you go, my brother. You go. You go. If,
I think on that we can end, Olu.
that's very good. You can tell that your wife listens to the program. God damn, that's good. That's good
Oh,
right
she does. She does not. She
there.
doesn't listen. She just looks at our
He said she
Instagram and
doesn't.
laughs. Which, by the way, you can find us on
Oh yeah,
Instagram,
thank God for him.
hanging with Olu, hangingwitholu
Oh,
at
that's right.
gmail.com. Please go to YouTube and
You too.
subscribe. What do they say? Ring the bell,
Bring
so
it.
that we can do a
Bring
live
it.
stream.
Right.
Um, we realize we're
We need
real late
1,000
to the
people.
game. We need 1,000
A
people.
thousand motherfuckers. Just give us 1,000. Again, like I said, we ain't asking for money. We're just asking for a click. I said
It's
that right.
really,
Click,
yeah,
click,
yeah.
click.
Oh, well, Olu, anything else on the docket for today, or can we wrap it up? And
I think we can just wrap this motherfucker up. Tell you the truth, goddamn.
well, the reason why I asked is my drink is empty, my bladder is full,
Oh,
and my soul is
mm,
overflowing with love and joy to the whole world. And I
well,
hope everyone
shit.
out
That's
there, I hope you all be nice to each other this week. Hug your cat, your dog, your family. Um, there's a lot of
everybody,
subversive.
goddamn.
There's a lot of subversive shit going on right now, and it's easy to fall for it. But maybe try not to fall for it.
Yeah, don't fall for it. Don't buy it. Don't try it, goddamn it. We want all of y'all to have a good time, be happy, all of that shit. Like you said, go out and help somebody, goddamn it. That'll get us all through it. So please help somebody out. And if you don't, hey, you're shit. God. You know what they say, goddamn. You know what they say. Suck a dick, kissing ass, motherfuckers with the side of fuck my home. Sweet whiskey.